In every game tick, an action is not just a choice, it's a necessity. Imagine combining the weirdest skills that can be trained together for efficient rates, speeding up the overall time to max all 23 skills. The max cape is my goal. I will achieve this in the shortest gameplay time possible. By choosing to be an Ironman, I restrict myself from trading other players and using the Grand Exchange. I have to get everything myself. Welcome to my max cape speedrun, Ironman edition, where our ultimate goal is to hit 2277 total by 1600 hours played. Last episode, we wrapped up early game Slayer, finally getting level 80 for Necreals. Unfortunately, even after spending 100 points on extending them, we straight up never got a task. However, I am proud to announce that after being nearly level 82 Slayer, we finally got our first Necreal task. Barraging Necreals in Koren is really good Slayer XP, getting up to 100k an hour. This sounds great, however, for us, that's not even efficient. I'm an Ironman, and we're currently sitting at 97 magic, 85 strength, 75 attack, and 87 defense. Most importantly, we are currently 79 prayer. To max efficiently, I have to get 99 in all 5 of these stats by the time I'm 99 Slayer. If I just barrage everything, I'll be left short on the other 4 skills. That's why melee Necreals are so good for me. Because I'm already camping the Arceus spellbook, I could just loot ashes and cast the demonic offering spell with my Wrath runes. Necreals drop malicious ashes, which means every kill, the ashes we get are worth 195 prayer XP. Compare the ratios, each kill is 105 Slayer XP and 195 prayer XP. As you can imagine, with numbers like these, the prayer stonks will go up. Naturally, melee will be slower than barraging, but we do have small little things to help our DPS. First of all, not even owning a whip yet, we're going to be using our Arclight charges. The Arclight is a chargeable weapon that when used against demonic creatures, it gets an insane accuracy and damage buff. Fortunately enough, the Necreals we are killing falls into this category, so no more Dragon Scimitar for now. Also, we should never forget the 2 strongest Arceus spells to help our DPS when meleeing. Death Charge and Thralls. These 2 spells are going to make a pretty large difference, especially over 30 million melee XP. Death Charge will give us an extra 15% spec every 60 seconds. The DDS spec is still a lot stronger than the Arclight or any other weapon I have. Thralls, on the other hand, is summoning but thankfully renamed so we don't have any RS3 things in old school. Imagine summoning ghosts for nothing but free DPS. These ghosts are not only free DPS, but they ignore the target's defense, making it even more effective when fighting high defense NPCs. So here is level 80 prayer, 86 strength. With how often the Necreals drop alchables such as rune or adamant items, it's important for me to bank for more inventory space. At this point, I'm still working on finding the perfect inventory setup, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually. I got myself some Dust Devils, which means here is level 82 Slayer. And right after that Dust Devil task, we finally got sent right back to Necreals. This is how I want my Slayer to be. I just want to do Necreals all day long. Okay, I think I finally found my sweet spot inventory setup. Early on, of course, we have some prayer potions on the floor because I have to juggle them due to the lack of inventory space. The ground items plugin actually has a countdown for when my items will despawn. This makes it a lot easier to juggle. All I need to really be careful of is the people safe spotting Necreals that will yoink my prayer potions. Of course, it will happen while meleeing. Here is 97 magic. I'm officially low on prayer potions after one full trip, so here are my findings. We got 29k an hour Slayer, 52k an hour prayer with no superiors. A nice 105k strength while only being level 86 and having pretty bad gear. And look at that rich boy inventory. This is my favorite part. There's probably about 200k GP in just alks, not even including the 76k coins we also picked up. I love this task right now. Thankfully the bank is closed, so we just have to quickly re-gear and we can continue the same session. Getting back to Necreals should only take a few seconds. I teleport with the Slayer Ring to Mauritania Tower, run to the basement, and it's important to always use these 2 spawns right here in this room. But I do have an account AFK that you can see on my minimap as an orange dot. This account essentially serves as a block so that the Necreals can't leave the room. ensuring that I constantly killed the same 2 Necroreals without wasting much time running around. The account standing in the doorway is completely blocking the walking path. I know what you might be thinking, if someone goes under me or a death spawn goes under me, it ruins it. Well, not really. If you zoom out on your minimap as far as possible, and click an area where you know it will know your click so that you don't move, you essentially become a brick. When this happens, the game refreshes your tile every single tick. The odds of a Necroreal or even any NPC walking through you when you do this are nearly 0. Coming up to the end of the task now, including superiors and banking, we're getting 33k an hour Slayer and 46k an hour Prayer. Not even including the GP I've made, which is probably over 800k. This will hopefully be our new home until 85 Slayer. Because a superior can spawn death spawns and they are actually very strong, I do need a strategy. If I run away far enough after they're spawned, they will lose their aggression and I simply come back to finish off the Necroreal. It can spawn spawns multiple times per kill, so it's important to be careful and make sure that we don't die. Back at Dagonaut, still barraging and still extending for the herb seeds, here is 83 Slayer, which is actually a new unlock for Ironman. Spiritual mages can drop dragon boots at a 1 in 128 drop rate, which means our next spiritual creature task, we're going to kill some mages and hopefully get our hands on some dragon boots. No dragon boots yet, but we did just get 87 strength, 81 prayer. Remember these guys, Bloodvelds? I didn't want to extend these to 99, but I've gotten better at double barraging, and even though we get half Slayer XP for every kill, we are still getting 160k an hour in Slayer. Despite having no drops or prayer XP, these XP rates are just way too high to not extend. 83.5 Slayer now, still no spiritual creatures. I did get Necroreals again, although this one is a problem. My Arclight is now out of charges, and the only way to charge it is to get more ancient shards, which we get from killing things inside the catacombs, and they're not exactly common. If we barrage, we have to be on ancient spellbook. We won't be able to use the Arceus spells for prayer XP. At this stage on the account, are we ready to give up 195 prayer XP per kill? The answer is simple. No. We need a new method. And that's why from now on, we are going to SBS Chali POH offer the Necroreals instead. What? This method, when broken down, stands for Spellbook Swap, Crystal Halberd Spec, POH Teleport, and Offering Spells. There is a simpler version of this method, however, what we need to know is that since we are Ironman, we cannot spec transfer. Knowing that our pool in the POH restores our spec, this gives us a couple options. 1, we can create thousands of house tabs and use 1 tab per lap, which I promise you is a lot of tabs, probably not worth the time. 2, we can stay on standard spellbook, but then we won't have access to Arceus to be able to offer the ashes for prayer XP, thus throwing away all that prayer. Or 3, we can stay on lunar spellbook, which gives us the ability to spellbook swap to any spellbook. This way, we can swap to the normal spellbook to cast POH Teleport with runes, and then swap to Arceus when we want to offer ashes for prayer XP. So while we are running to the Necroreals, we want to red click something so that we don't stall, and then cast spellbook swap to the normal spellbook. Then, we'll have Necroreals conveniently waiting for us, waiting to be spec'd down. The Crystal Halberd special attack can hit 10 NPCs standing on 1 tile. So we have another account in Necroreals that has 7 of them stacked, along with whatever death spawns that they may have put under as well. So with my Halberd hitting 10 enemies 3 times per lap, the extra DPS makes up for the time spent running back and forth. After all of the specs, I teleport to my POH, which automatically puts me back on Lunars. And then, if I have at least 3 ashes in my inventory, I can spellbook swap to Arceus to offer the ashes, and then go straight back to standard. Just got a superior and I honestly have no idea how to kill it, so I guess we'll send some See How He specs and then maybe hope it dies. And while running around panicking, I actually managed to corner trap it with my ult, so we're safe now. You might be wondering at this point, how am I getting drops in my Ironman when I'm tagging on my ult? Didn't they nerf that many years ago? Well, yeah, they did. The reality is, if you hit a 0 on your ult to lure a monster and then attack on your iron, you will get half Slayer XP and not get any drops. I'm doing something a little bit different though. My ult is geared with air and mind runes, so that I can cast the level 1 spell Wind Strike. Wind Strike has a maximum hit of a 2. It is my ult's job to make sure that I don't hit a 0. I have to damage a Necroreel by either a 1 or a 2 for this to work. Once they are all stacked, we have to wait for them to heal back to full HP. Except, here's the catch, we don't actually have to wait. Most NPCs in the game restore 1 hit point per minute or per 100 ticks. For some unknown reason, Greater Necroreels inside of Kourend are the only common Slayer mob to heal 1 hit point per 5 ticks or every 3 seconds. Think about how long the run is there. Even if I hit my max hit, which is a 2, only 6 seconds later, that Necroreel will be full HP again, allowing my Ironman to damage it and get full Slayer credit. So there's no need to do logout with this method. In real time, we're actually getting 33k an hour Slayer, 225k an hour Strength, and 25k an hour Prayer. Even the magic XP rate is relatively high since we're using so many different spells. Wrapping up my first task like this, it's been nearly 2 hours and we got 430k Strength XP just from this one task. Since the Greater Necroreels have 205 hit points instead of 105, their Prayer to Slayer ratio is a bit less generous, however, we can just make that up later. I'm not sure why every level up seems to be at Dagonauts, but I still haven't had a Spiritual Warrior task, yet here is 84 Slayer. It's finally happening! Spiritual creatures are my task now. I have 231, and just to play it safe, I will use Slaughter Bracelets until I see the boot drop. Given that boots are 1 in 128, there's no way we don't get them this task.
A few moments later.
I was lied to. The Wikipedia says that dragon boots are 1 in 128. I have now killed over 128 spiritual mages, and I do not have dragon boots. It's been nearly an hour, and 286 spiritual mages later, I still don't have dragon boots. I guess now we have to wait until our next task. The absolute best part of 84 Slayer, we get to completely waste 100 points on our new block, Drakes, and in order to do that, we had to unblock Skeletal Wyverns, which we now have to skip. Not sure about you guys, but I absolutely love this skill. Kind of just been really enjoying the Strength XP from See How He Next, but here is 85 Slayer. Another opportunity has come up. We got another Spiritual Warrior task, so hopefully now we get our Dragon Boots. I've been kind of just killing these and we're already under 100 left. For some reason my cat now decided to roll all over my keyboard, so I'll be right back. Wait, I actually got boots? Hang on. Where? Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Okay, I'll be right back. That was definitely a close call. And thank you to my Twitch chat for pointing out that I got the boots when I logged out. Since we're done with that, for the rest of Slayer, we can go back to barraging Spiritual Warriors. I did also just hit 90 strength by swinging our halberd over here at Necroreels. Will I ever return to the tower? And honestly, do I even want to ever return to the tower? To be honest, right now, I don't even know. Comparing the two, the Crystal Halberd gets me double the melee XP per hour, and just about the same, if not slightly higher Slayer XP per hour as well. The biggest downside right now is that Tower Necroreels do grant us a lot more prayer XP due to them only having 105 health. I think this is where I'll call today's episode, so I hope you all enjoyed it. For a very quick recap as to where we are, currently we're sitting at 81.5 prayer and 85 Slayer. Our goal will be to continue to shorten this gap, and in a perfect world, we'll get 99 prayer and Slayer on the same task. With the power of Wrath Runes and us continually monitoring our XP, we should be able to get close. Don't forget that I am also back to streaming a lot of this Slayer journey on Twitch. Feel free to check it out if you want to see it live. As always, TY for watching. Feel free to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe if you haven't. I will catch you all next time. Peace out.